silver stacking, ready to sell, you get burned. I went to a local coin show to sell, actually, not to buy. I was there to sell. And this turned out to be a painful lesson that everyone needs to learn because I'm a seasoned silver stacker. And this happened to me. Check this out. I don't want you to walk into these situations and get burned. I've been in the silver game for decades. And for a period of time, I was highly organized in my stacking of metals. I had all the values of my bars, my rounds, my rare silver coins. I had it all listed out, and I would follow the price fluctuations. I knew what I had, and I took a section of my holdings. I went to this local coin show with the intent to sell. I walked in there with a box that was valued at a lot of money. I knew it. And I'd spent years following the price guides. All of my rare silver was slabbed. I knew what they were worth. And I brought this box. There's one of these red boxes. You've probably seen them where people keep slabbed coins in. It's like, I want to say 12 inches by 3. And I brought this classic red box. So I brought it to each table. And the dealers know when they see those boxes, they know that you have some good things in there because a rookie would not walk around with the red box. Those of you who've been to these shows, those of you who've been stacking as long as I have, you've been in this game for decades, you know what I'm talking about. So I went to the first table and I asked if he's buying, and of course he said yes. And so I showed him what I had, and I knew I've been following the price guides. I've been following everything. I knew what my holdings were worth. And this guy lowballed me. I mean, low, what he offered. Now, the thing that you need to understand when you go to these shows is that they don't just give you a quick price, because clearly, like, they want to look through what you have and they want to really think about it. So I had to leave it, my whole box at his table. And then I went and I walked around. I came back about 10 minutes later. He told me what he'd offered me. And it was so low. I mean, it was thousands of dollars below the value. It was really low. So I smiled. I said, "No, thank you." And I went, same process, 2 more tables, not even close to this guy, other side of the room, 2 different tables. And the same process. I have to leave it there. I have to wait, come back. Now, these numbers that these dealers were offering me were so low. I mean, just really offensive. I mean, by the time I was done there, it really changed my view. This experience really changed how I look at metals. It changed from then on. I'm not stacking the way I used to. And the first thing that it showed me is that anything that I have with a premium, anything that has any kind of premium, beyond like $2. I mean, if you're buying rounds, it's going to have, if you're lucky, $1, maybe $2 premium, right? Anything beyond that, anything with a premium, no matter how convinced I am that this product has value, especially when it's a rare coin, 19th century. I was really into 19th century silver. Anything that has a premium on it, the dealers are just going to lowball me. And my great takeaway is that if I am going to sell, it's got to be not to a dealer. It's got to be to a regular person like me, another stacker, somebody who's interested in this and they understand what I have and they don't have overhead. Because in the defense of all of these dealers, and I went to every table and nobody would budge. They have overhead. First of all, to rent a table at these shows, let's say there's about a small show would be about 50 tables. Each table is at least $800. Really, it's $1,000. It's $1,000 and up to rent the table. So they're paying for that. And then they're usually not alone. There's somebody with them. They're probably paying somebody to help them out that day because they need to unload all of the silver and gold and rare coins that they're selling that day. So they need all that. And sometimes these people are traveling. Many of them, they're traveling for hours to get there. So they're paying for that. They're paying a lot of overhead. They can't budge on the price. So that was a big lesson. And I'm telling you, I've been in this for years. I was really surprised to see this. And if I had gone through with it, if I had taken any of those offers, to say that I would be burned is an understatement. I mean, I would have just been slapped in the face. It's really just not worth it. So the big takeaway is that it's twofold. First, anything that I buy from now on, these are proof. This is nothing. This is like a proof. This is actually a reverse proof. Reverse proof silver American Eagle. These do go for a premium, but I just really like how these look. It's just a personal thing. I don't buy these ever thinking that I'm going to flip them or sell them. I just really like how it looks. This is just this is a standard proof here. This is a standard proof eagle. So again, like it comes with a premium, maybe $20, $25 at most over spot. It's not a big deal. I'm not flipping those. But the silver that I was flipping, I'm talking about large size bars. I'm talking about rare silver, 19th century silver. And I bought it all with a big premium. I spent big premiums on these with the belief that when the time came, and I held it. I followed the rules. I held it. I held those, my holdings, I held it all for years and years. So I really should have gone. I mean, some of these prices that I was given were, I would have lost. I wouldn't even have broken even of what I put in. I'm telling you, I kept all of my numbers. I had it all written down. I knew what I spent on these items. So there's that. And the other part that I learned from this is really that if I'm going to sell, which I'm not, I'm stacking. I'm like a decades stacker. I go for decades. If I'm going to stack, if I'm going to ever sell anything, I'm not doing it through a dealer. I'm doing it through another stacker. I'm doing it through somebody else who's in on this, and they're into it, and they see the value, they see what it's worth, and that's how I'm doing it. And you know what? I have been doing that for like little things once in a while when I want to sell something or I want to even buy something. I do it with a fellow stacker because I'm not bashing all dealers. I'm not. I'm just stating the reality is that they have overhead. And a mom and pop shop with a brick and mortar store, oh my gosh, they need to pay rent for that shop, electricity, a worker. They need to pay, even if it's just one or two people, they need to pay all of that. That's overhead, and that's going to come out of what they can offer you. So I relay this story. Don't get burned.